October 25 of 2012.
That day we recorded Tiempos de Cambio with Canserbero and César López. In this video, I want to show you how we recorded it, what microphones we used, how we mixed, and well, everything that has to do with this production. Here we go. I remember very well that afternoon when I arrived at César López's house. We started to do the setup of the recording. The Canserbero was there. He started to write with his cell phone. If you can see in the internet video, he is reading from his cell phone while César López was playing. The truth is that it took them as long as it took us to do the setup. When we finished, they started recording, and that's how the different takes came out. This microphone and these headphones were the ones used by El Canserbero in this recording, an AKG C214 and K77 headphones. For the piano, we use Rode M5 microphones that sound spectacular, and César asked me for the piano to have more bass, so I used this AKG D112. We put it under the tail of the piano, and it worked quite well. As I was saying, we had 4 channels to record. The 4 original channels were these: piano, the tail part of the piano, and the voice. Let's hear a little bit of the stereo that was recorded with the Rode M5. This piano was equalized as follows. At around 500 Hz, we dropped about 10 decibels because there was a resonance that we didn't like very much. Then we applied a great equalizer, which is this Pultec, adding 60 Hz to the take. And also at 4 kHz, we did a boost. We put a compressor, finally an LA2A to help us with those peaks, but not to make it feel so compressed. As I mentioned, we used the AKG D112 to give it a little more bass. This was the EQ for this channel. We went up quite a bit at 62 Hz, and in the 250 and 500 Hz zone, we went down a little bit to avoid these resonances. Let's hear a little bit. And to give a little bit more realism to this channel in the panorama, we put it 50% to the left. Let's talk a little bit about the voice. The truth is that Canserbero was a great singer, and you know that when there is a good musician, you don't have to do much in post-production. This is the EQ we used on Canserbero's voice. We did a high-pass filter at 70 Hz. We also attenuated around 360 Hz, because you could feel that resonance a little bit, especially in the place where we recorded it, which wasn't really a recording studio. This whole section was a bit annoying, and to give it more definition and more air around 9-10 kHz, we raised the frequency a bit. After that, we used the LA2A. As always, I think it's a great compressor, and this plug-in version is great for leveling the voice. Let's open up a little bit.
El sol brilla de nuevo, comentan los abuelos que el año pasó más rápido, es el efecto placebo. Las aves aún cantan y algunos trotan con sus perros que orinan las llantas de algunos carros ajenos. La inocencia de la niñez, la juventud con su avidez, es la esperanza que descanse en la vejez. El mundo está al revés, pero son tiempos de cambio, al menos eso es lo que mi avidez ve.
One thing I want to tell you about this song is that it was recorded from start to finish. About 4 takes were recorded and 1 of them was picked. I also want to share with you some overdubs that we did on the recording. It's about 2 pianos. The first piano is this one. It's doing the pulse of the song the whole time. Then we added a plugin that we really like. We always use it with César, which is Waves H delay. We did a tap tempo. It gave us around 92 BPM. Remember that this track was not recorded with metronome, and it helped us with this piano. If you notice, this delay is creating more tension in the song, so it's subdividing the whole time. The EQ on this piano was a little more aggressive because we wanted it to sound less like the piano that is in the whole song. So we did a cut at 250 Hz, again around 500. We attenuated, and in the 6 kHz zone we were accenting. Another great element of this song is a piano that appears making a very interesting melodic figure. To this piano we applied an EQ where we removed bass and highs imitating a kind of phone filter, and we applied this SandSamp plugin to add a little bit of saturation and distortion. So these two channels support the track quite a bit. When we got to the studio, what we did was to organize the whole session, all the files, choose the takes, and a bass was recorded with a MIDI controller. This was the plugin that we used from Native Instruments to make this bass, the massive plugin. And here we can bring up a little bit of that bass that was added to generate more tension in this track.
Un millón de costumbres, un millón de culturas, todas esclavas del dinero que nos manipula. Al fin y al cabo, papeles con la cara de alguna persona con tantos defectos como cualquier mula. El planeta y la luna, enorme.
We only used one reverb, and that was for the vocal of the Canserbero. We did it through an auxiliary. It's the Waves Reverb plugin. We used this hall for the voice and nothing else. Nobody else has effects. This channel that you see at the end is another piano, but it's nothing that has been played as such. It was just some noises that César made with the piano, and that's how the track closes. I want to talk a little bit about the automations. So in this part we go up to the vocals of the Canserbero. Let's hear what it is.
Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso. Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso. Ese factor se llama amor.
The bass also has some automations. Here it goes down in volume.
Cambio al hormiguero. Hormigas somos todos, se lo cambia al hormiguero.
These noises of the piano also have. And the piano that makes the melodies the second time it appears has an automation.
Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso. Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso. Ese factor se llama amor.
It generates a little more tension, doesn't it? Let's review other automations, and these are the panorama automations. The only one that has a panorama automation is this piano. That moves little by little. And that's how Tiempos de Cambio by the Canserbero and César López turned out.
Al mundo ya no le hace falta más tecnología, y mucho menos si se trata de armas destructivas. 700 canales de televisión vacía, inodoros que te limpiarán harán en estos días. El mundo tiene demasiadas cosas en exceso, demasiados de muchos retrocesos y progresos, excepto por un gran factor escaso en estos tiempos. Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso. Ese factor se llama amor y nada más que eso.
I have very good memories of the Canserbero from this recording session, and for me it was an honor to have recorded this track. See you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Son tiempos de cambio.